Happy Monday, starting this week off, fixing a flat on the media machine. We're in the office, been in here for a couple hours, just working on some different things, going through our Monday, making sure all our deliverables were met, and going over some things we need to do this week, making a list of stuff, even though that's a list of stuff, just going through everything that we need to accomplish, and also doing some research. I was on an interesting sales meeting with a client of ours that was trying to get sold on some stuff by another kind of agency, but they offer some different things. But they were using a tool like Semrush or SimilarWeb to compare them to other people that they thought were their competition. They weren't in the same industry. They didn't really understand that those people weren't very similar to them, but they were trying to show like, hey, you guys are failing in here, here, and here, but it's a very different ecosystem because it's not the same as those, and we don't want to be in those same search terms, and we don't want to be chasing those same metrics as that other company, because although it's under the same, type of business, is very different products and very different type of customer for those products. But from the outside, it may look like that if you're not familiar with those industries. So I've been doing some research, looking at some software that might better help high-speed media service our clients in being able to help them see what their competition's doing. It kind of got me thinking, what if we use these in our sales calls, or what if we had this data so we could show others what their competition is doing. We do this with social media ads, it's super easy, but some of the traffic to their websites and different things like that could be super beneficial. So I've been spending some time educating myself on that. I've played with these softwares a little bit in the past, but not in this type of ecosystem. So I've been playing with that. I'm looking at high-speed media versus other companies, seeing what they're doing and seeing if that's beneficial information for us, and how beneficial would that be for us to offer that information to our clients so they're better educated on how to compete with their competitors. So here's kind of a look at what that dashboard looks like. I'm going to go ahead and blank some of this out, but just to compare, like, we are extremely low in traffic compared to these, but these are huge national agencies, some of which I don't know if they provide a very good service or not, but they get a ton of traffic and they're kind of your big box stores of this space. So just trying to compare what they're doing. You can see where it's direct or AI or referral or organic search, paid search, organic social, like where they're getting their traffic from. And this helps you kind of backwards figure out where we could get more traffic from. Obviously, some of these have been around a really long time. Some of these probably even converted from not being a social media type or digital marketing from something else and then bought or however that worked out. So they have a lot of history in their SEO, their data, and their traffic, but then trying to figure out where are they spending their budgets, where are they spending theirs. I know where we get our leads, I know where we do really well, but is there some undiscovered gold that we're not playing with? Or have we tried it didn't work for us, but it's crushing for them? So to figure out what are the differences for them and for us. And maybe it is the traffic we want, maybe it's not the traffic we want, but I'm just trying to, get more data for myself to understand how to make us more competitive in the marketplace.
That's basically what we do here is we help with consistency and scheduling and posting and captions and all of that. So we take the content and optimize it for social and then help get it out there so then people can see it and it flows with what you have going on.
And we work with a lot of companies in mixture of that, like you shooting some raw content or us coming up and filming with you. You can send us whatever, we'll edit it, we can come film with you and then edit that stuff. And I like how you're doing that. Some of it's just very raw, you talking to the camera. We can just strip it, clip it, put the captions on it just so you can speed up. But then also, if you want to shoot some really nice stuff, we're more than happy to do that. I'd assume when you're talking about doing more of those nice videos, if you're doing this for the properties, doing more of those nice videos around things about around town or what you're into or those types of things that might be actually more engaging for the community. Yeah, I love it. And I also think a mixture of around town while also what we've seen kind of works is a podcast style environment. It's not two people, but you're kind of talking to it as though it's podcast. So you can do your educational and stuff like that. So when people see a video that's yours, they're like, oh, I'm going to stop on this because I'm learning things from her about real estate, right? So you're becoming that authority. Absolutely. Yeah, there's literally no better thing that I know of other than putting out social media content at scale, because I started my own YouTube channel in 2017, and the people that will come up to me and be just start talking about cars we've known each other forever is kind of crazy. Yeah, it gets weird. Do I know you, or have you just followed my stuff and we're just communicating for the first time? But they walk up and start talking to you you've talked to them many times before, which is pretty cool. I totally get what you're trying to do there, and absolutely, like, stats and this homes for sale is not going to build that like rapport with a person, right? It's the raw stuff. Actually, personally, for our business, I've started doing some daily vlogging for our company. It is very raw. It's not super polished. I don't know if it's not getting tons of views, but it'll get some, but it's the depth, right? And some of that is the killer part. But then when it hits and you become that like known source, then hopefully you just can put out really simple videos with, good information, and they'll just hit. They'll just pull lots of views. So that's really awesome. I'm glad that you're heading in this direction. I mean, obviously, us as a social media agency, we see all of that all the time, but there's so many people that, especially in real estate, are stuck in very traditional ways of marketing, and that's literally what we've built here. I mean, if you could work it backwards, that's kind of where we're at, is trying to be a fractional media team for people and companies. Some agencies you might talk to or whatever, they'll be like, oh, we'll help you with social media, but it's a very broad, open umbrella. All of our packages are deliverable based. So 3 posts a week, 5 posts a week, a post every day. In our packages, we include, if we need to create graphics, cool, video editing, photography, or photo edits, or even if you send us raw stuff, like we'll edit it and then put it out. We try to optimize everything. So all that's built in. And usually what we're trying to do is to keep our like plans competitive, unless we're wanting to do a high-end like reel every time, like then we would quote that differently. But for the most part, we try to, lean into a heavier edit and then do like a simple, like maybe photo post and something engaging. So we mix it up, right? And we try to, we might spend 3 hours on an edit, and then we spend, 30 minutes on it making a simpler post. So then we just kind of balance that for the client so it can be kind of cost effective across the board. We help quite a few companies, or even our local metro district or a credit union locally and stuff too, that we're there, a car lot, we're there, once to 3 times a month just filming with them, so they can set aside the time, we film it, we get out of the hair, they go back to work, and then we just go see out whatever we created. I totally see where you're going with this. I love it. Part of the problem, right, is you have content, but it's not going to each platform with distribution. Like, you'll get it, you post it, but then you get busy, so it's hard to put it on each one. Our day to day, that is our life here. Like, when stuff fails and meta works great and then it doesn't work for us and all that stuff. You hope you can hit a few viral things and really promote, like, get a bunch of followers, right? But now following is even kind of less likely with the algorithms and stuff today. Like, people are like, oh, if I just watch it, it'll pop back up. I actually don't have to go click on them, go hit follow and all that, although followers are still happening. But within ads, depending on how aggressive you are at wanting to get to a certain number, not that person at 54,000 has been all organic. She might have put some budget behind strategically trying to get followers. We can help with that too. I've done that for myself personally. I've done that for a couple businesses we've worked with. And you're not paying for like fake followers by any means. You're just paying to promote your content correctly in a way that brings you followers back in a like structured way, right? We can do both. Like, so in all of our packages, the ads management's included. So if you want to focus on leads, we can focus on leads. If you want to focus on followers, we can put those ad dollars towards trying to get you like the lowest cost per follower possible. And that might be, let's shoot these 3 or 4 different ideas of content that will hopefully lower that cost. Because, we may run one type of content and it's $1 per follower. And then we run the right type of content and it's 6 cents per follower is what I used to be able to get, which was super cheap. I don't know, but it was super, like, if you love this, then hit the like button. Well, when you hit the like button, it liked the page, which caused you to follow the page. So it was a really cool ecosystem Meta had years ago, and it's not quite the same anymore. But can we find that for you, right? Like, it worked really well, and now it doesn't work quite as well. But what can we find? What hack can we find to bring you people? Do you want to find out more about the areas here, like where you become more of a news source or information source? And they're like, oh, yes. They don't even realize they're following a real estate agent. They're just following for that type of content. And then we can just work with you on that, right? Like, hey, we started off, we got 60 cents a follower. Now we're at 40 cents. Now we're at 37 cents. And then you just can project how much money do you want to spend by how much do you want to grow, right? I mean, I worked with a company that's actually in Denver. Worked with them for like 2 years. Did okay. Had this one video go viral and gain them 7,000 followers in one post. But like we chased it for 2 or 3 years, right? And like didn't have anything else hit like that. And we've had a couple other ones do pretty good since that video, but it's a good way to kind of almost guarantee some results in where you want to head and become that authority, right? Because as much as it's really interesting, so me being in automotive, not paying for followers, but paying to promote your stuff to have a bigger following, to utilize that for sponsorships is actually cheaper, and I'm investing in my personal brand that brings me more sponsorships, right? So like for you, could spending some more money to have this vanity metrics that everybody looks at in a way help you get these higher end listings, to have more people see you as the authority and all that type of stuff. You're still doing the work, but it's a little bit of the cheat code, I guess you could say, without just buying totally fake followers, which is terrible for everybody's account. This is just like, I'm going to put it in front of more people and I hope they follow me. Let's just do it strategically. The really nice one there is YouTube, because it's so searchable. And if you're putting out informational content, but there's a lot of that going out, right? But the nice thing with YouTube versus all other platforms is if your video hits a search term, over time, it'll just keep getting views, where most other platforms, it falls off with time, right? So, but it's putting out enough content, and we might put out 50 pieces of content in 2 of those, but they hit and they'll keep bringing you viewers on those 2 videos for the next 5 years. So like, and then even if you turned our services off, that video is now going to be valuable to you for long term, right? That's what I really like about YouTube. And now with shorts and all of that, if we're creating reels for Facebook and Instagram, they go right into shorts. We usually tag it differently because you're limited by the title of the video. So, and we'll try to be more search specific in the title for SEO and stuff like that. And because Google owns YouTube, it's a huge hitter. If you start taking and putting videos on your YouTube and then embedding them into your website, it helps with that, like knowing who you are and bringing that around. Just got out of a meeting with the chamber, looking over our creative space. Now headed to the chiropractor, which is actually one of our clients. So Italy's going to come with us, film while we're actually getting adjusted. So then we're creating content and also building relationships with our new clients, stuff like that. So great opportunity to get to know their business. I think that's something that we do at High Speed Media that's really special. So we actually get to know the client's business. If they're local, we're a part of it. If they're doing something, we try to be a part of that or learn more about their thing. And then obviously anytime we're shooting content, whether it's local or across the country, that helps us learn and be around that person more, be around that company more, understand their vibe, understand their business, and helps us, let that flow through to social media. So it's super important to us. We love doing it. So we're gonna go in here. I'm gonna get adjusted because obviously, I guess in the x-rays they took the other day, they could see some things. So we'll learn about that, get adjusted, and then also shoot some content. Ready to shoot some content?
Yep.
Ready to get adjusted?
Yeah, I am.
All right.
Hips out.
My back's been out. Just finishing up the day, going over some emails and finishing a few things that I wasn't able to get to through the rest of the day. And we're here at 7 o'clock, so an hour and a half passed. I spent some time on the phone though, just talking to his family and figuring some stuff out there. And April's still in the office working away too, but it was awesome getting to get adjusted at the chiropractor, but also, supporting clients that support us. And I think that's a really big thing, like I mentioned earlier. If we can lean into what they're doing, learn more about them, even use their services, recommend them. We're here to build real relationships with people, not just have another client. The more we learn about them, the more we learn about their business, their structure, their people, the better we can represent them online. So that one-on-one time, that really getting to know them, or even investing into our body through their services and them investing into our business for their social media help, it becomes a really cool ecosystem, and we both learn, grow, and help each other, which, like I said, supporting those that support you is a huge thing. So, just going over some emails here to finish up the day. I did ESPNs with the team. Great start. It's winter time, colds. Everybody's feeling a little sick, or we're sick over the weekend. We're sick last week, as you guys saw in some of the other videos. So just health, rest. They can kind of pick and choose. Like if they're feeling good enough to come in, they can come in. If they want to work remote. But what we've noticed is when you're sick and working, you're a higher chance of having errors, and that's a terrible thing for us. We try to minimize errors on social media, so we usually try not to work when we're sick, or if we do, we need to go back over those things. I prefer they just take the time off and come in. Since we work Monday through Thursday, we also allow the team to come in on Friday if they don't want to use sick time, or they want to make up their time, or they need to get caught up on work. They're more than welcome to come in on Friday to make up that time and or get caught up on their work, or put them in a position that they feel good about. If they're ahead and they can take a whole day off, they have sick time, they can use that or whatever. So we just try to navigate that on a case-by-case basis, on a person-by-person basis. Working in corporate America, if you called off or you took, any holiday time, they made you feel like a terrible person and, it was going to wreck everything if you took time off. I don't want that at high speed. I want people to feel like they can come to work when they feel good. If they don't, they won't. Obviously, if you're out too much, that'll affect long-term things and performance and that type of stuff. But, self-monitoring. If you feel good, if you feel you want to, and I'm super proud of our team and the people we have here, because I think they do a great job at, when it's just too much, they don't. But if they're a little sick, but they can push through, they come in and they give it their best. And then we just balance it there. Sometimes we see somebody and they're doing terrible and they're trying to fight through it, and we just send them home, because it's better off you just come in at another time, or come in tomorrow and try again, because you're not going to crush it right now, and we don't want people not crushing it here. So, go home, get better, come back in, and literally, if you're really sick and you're making social media posts, the time it'll take you to do 3 posts when you're sick compared to when you're feeling better is exponentially different typically. So just come in fresh and get rolling, and you'll be better off. So that's what we're trying to balance here at High Speed, and not make it such a burden, if you will, when somebody needs to call off or they're sick or whatever's happening. So, gonna finish up a few more things, work on some stuff, check out my own analytics for my videos and different things like that gets me excited on our own content, or my personal videos that I posted over the weekend on my other channel and stuff like that. So gonna hang out here for just a little bit longer. All right, just about 9 o'clock at night. Yep, door's locked. Heading home to go eat some dinner. We'll do it all over again tomorrow. Sometimes it's nice when it's quiet, when you're running the business and doing stuff like that, when things are quiet and slow, then you can go through, double check things or look at things you've been wanting to look at all day, that type of stuff. And sometimes you just want to hang out and keep working, I guess. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. If you've been enjoying the videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button. See you in the next video.